Hello, and welcome to Electech's Computer Enthusiast. I'm Tim Gamble. I'll be your host for the next half hour, bringing you the most current and up-to-date information to help you get the most out of your computer hardware and software. Plus, we'll show you demonstrations of the latest computer technology by specialists and experts in the industry. In the next half hour, we'll be covering microprocessors, taking some of the mystery out of how they work, what they do, and why they're important to computer users. Software packages for new operating systems, including MS-DOS 6.2 and Microsoft Windows 3.1. Plus, we'll visit a computer specialist who will discuss memory and even demonstrate how to install memory modules in your computer. So, stay tuned. We'll be right back with the latest in computer technology for today's Computer Enthusiast.
Random access memory. Really good. Now, once again,
megabytes, gigabytes,
terabytes.
At Compaq, we realized that learning about computers can be pretty intimidating. So we invented Presario, computers designed and priced to make it easier. They come loaded with all the software you need to get started right away. And they're backed by a 3-year warranty.
WYSIWYG.
So instead of sounding smart about computers, you can be smart about computers. The new Presario from Compaq.
Electech's Superstore selection of over 5,000 computer products from the best national manufacturers are available nationwide through our mail order catalog at our everyday discounted prices. Our friendly customer service representatives respond quickly to customers' calls and are knowledgeable in all our product lines to help make the best possible purchase decisions. Electech offers same-day shipping on all in-stock items, but that's not all. Our client service representatives will contact you promptly if a product is not in stock to let you know when it will be shipped to you. Here at Electech, we make purchasing essential computer products easy and convenient. To get your Electech computer products catalog or to order by phone, just call 708-677-7660 or fax us at 708-677-1081.
Imagine a processor that's not just about more power. It's about an entirely new kind of PC. One that responds instantly to whatever you ask of it. One that breathes new life, a new spark into all your software. That's the power of the Pentium processor. From Intel, the computer inside.
Hello, and welcome back to the Computer Enthusiast. Today's featured topic is the microprocessor, and in the next few minutes we'll try to dispel the mystery about what it is and why it's important to computer users. Plus, we'll be visited by Chris Chaffer, an Intel product specialist, who will tell us what's new in microprocessing technology. The microprocessor is one of the primary qualifying ideas when purchasing a computer system. The microprocessor is the brain of the computer system, which receives data, it processes it, and it redirects it to the appropriate parts of the computer. There are several types of microprocessors offered by computer manufacturers which have different capabilities and speeds. Motorola manufactures microprocessors for Apple Macintosh, and Intel is the major manufacturer of microprocessors for the PC. Intel, which invented the microprocessor, is the largest manufacturer of microprocessors and is known worldwide for setting the industry standard. And today, we have an Intel product specialist, Chris Chaffer, visiting us to talk about microprocessors. Chris, welcome to the Computer Enthusiast. We're glad to have you with us.
Thanks, Tim. It's great to be here.
Chris, to give us some perspective about microprocessors and what they do, let's discuss the first ones that were ever used in PCs, the 8086 and the 8088 microprocessors.
Sure, I'd be glad to. Back in 1978, Intel introduced the 8086 processor. And what that was a 16-bit processor that ran on a 16-bit bus.
Okay. Now, just to simplify things, could you explain what that all means?
Sure. It takes roughly 8 bits to represent a character like the letter A. And when I talk about a bus, that just talks about the bandwidth of how many bits can be moved at one time along through the processor.
Okay. Now, after the 8086, what came next?
In 1982, introduced the 286 processor, and that was still a 16-bit microprocessor, but that was able to address 24 bits on the bus.
Okay.
From there, we went to the Intel 386DX microprocessor, and that was a full 32-bit microprocessor with a 32-bit bus. And then after that, we introduced a cost reduction, reduced version, which was an SX, 386SX microprocessor. And that actually addressed 16 bits on the bus.
Now, Intel now offers a whole family of Intel 486 microprocessors and the powerful new Pentium processor?
Yeah, that's correct. The 486s, the Intel 486DX incorporates the core of the 386DX with 8K cache and then also a math coprocessor. And the 8K cache is just a storage place for instructions that you use the most. And then your math coprocessor allows you to do floating point much better than any other processor without it.
Wow. Can you tell me about the Intel 486 microprocessor family line, the whole range?
Okay. The least powerful is the Intel 486SX. And from there we go to the Intel DX and then the Intel DX2. And that's a clock double version of the 486DX.
Okay, now, yeah, I understand that 486DX2 is more of a mainstream PC for both home and business users. Now, tell me why.
Well, the Intel 486DX2 actually gives the customer a better value for his dollar. For almost the same cost of a DX2 system, you're getting twice the performance of a CPU for that same system. And with the DX2 processor, your investment is protected with an overdrive processor with Pentium technology that'll be out later on this year. So the Pentium processor actually is your best investment. It's the most powerful performance processor on the market with the superscalar technology of the 64-bit bus and then a math coprocessor that's more powerful than any math coprocessors we've developed before. You know, it's the best processor you can buy to run your software today, and it's available.
With so many processors to choose from, how could a computer user tell which one is right for them?
Well, Intel recognized that there's a lot of microprocessors that we offer, and what we've done is come up with the iComp chart, which is a comparative rating giving you, relative performance for each microprocessor. And iComp stands for the Intel Microprocessor, Comparative Microprocessor Performance Index. And so if you look at our microprocessors here, you've got a DX2 versus a DX. If you look at a DX2, it's got an iComp of 297, where a DX is only an iComp of 166.
Okay, that's terrific, but now perhaps you can show us what all those bars mean by demonstrating the difference between two different microprocessors. Would that be okay?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. What we can do is take a look at, let's say we've got an SX33 here, and we're going to be running Adobe Photoshop, and what we've got is a document that's scanned in. We're going to do some bit editing here, and you'll see, there it is. And on the SX33, it takes roughly about 54 seconds or so to do that, 54.2. And then the second item we'll look at here is the same software. We're going to do the same thing using the Adobe Photoshop, and we'll use a Pentium 60, and it only takes about 19 seconds, 19.3.
Boy, that is fast.
Very fast.
So when comparing microprocessors one to another, what are the key considerations to keep in mind?
Well, people want to think about what they're going to use the processor for. Intel did a study to see what customers were looking for in a computer, and they wanted to be able to upgrade. Their big concern was being stuck with a box and software going on beyond what they wanted to do with it. So the ability to protect their investment by using an overdrive processor really seems to help.
Great. Chris, thank you for joining us and doing a terrific job explaining microprocessors.
Thanks. Thanks for having me.
Up next, we'll be talking to Lynn Strimling from Microsoft Software and Utilities Functions. So we'll be right back.